Hello, guys, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're covering the Dechmont Woods incident from 1979 in West Lothian, Scotland. The case stands out because it was investigated by police as a possible assault, and it was due to the physical injuries that were sustained by the person that reported it. Also, the evidence at the scene. The main witness was Robert Taylor. He was a 61-year-old forestry worker for the Livingston Development Corporation. He maintained his account consistently about this issue until his death in 2007. On the morning of November 9th, 1979, Robert Taylor drove to Dechmont Woods near Livingston to carry out routine checks on fences and gates in a newly planted forestry area. He parked his pickup truck near the M8 motorway and walked along a path with his red setter dog called Lara. Around 10:30 a.m, after walking some distance, he entered a small clearing and saw an unusual object. He described it as a large dome-shaped or spherical structure, roughly 20 feet, about 6 meters in diameter, hovering close to the ground. The surface appeared dark grey and metallic, with a rough texture, and it had a rim or flange with looked like small propeller-like attachments. He also noted a faint smell similar to burning brakes. If you've ever smelt brakes when they got hot, it's that burning smell. As he observed it, two smaller spherical objects, each around 3 feet across, dark and covered in spikes like naval mines, those that float in the sea to capture ships out, separated from the larger one and moved towards him across the ground. According to Taylor, these smaller spheres attached to his clothing and legs, pulling him forward. He was scared. He felt pain from the spikes. He had grazing on his skin, and then he lost consciousness. When he regained awareness, the objects were gone. His dog was nearby, barking in a frenzy. Taylor's trousers were torn at the legs. Those trousers still exist, by the way, with the tears in them. And the tears that are in the trousers actually show an upward force. So they've been forensically examined, and that does fit in with his testimony. He walked back to his truck about a quarter of a mile and he drove home. At home, his wife saw his condition and she immediately called a doctor and the police. The police officers took his statement and examined the scene. This is what they found. Ground marks in the clearing, including 2 ladder-like indentations where the main object reportedly hovered. About 40 small circular holes in the ground along the path that the smaller spheres were said to have taken, which is exactly what was reported. No other footprints or vehicle tracks entering or leaving the area that matched any corporation equipment, so that was ruled out. Taylor's torn clothing was sent for forensic analysis, as I said, which noted damage consistent with a sharp upward pull. Due to the injuries and evidence of physical contact, police recorded the matter as a common assault and conducted an investigation. No suspects were identified and the case remained open but unsolved. Taylor was a respected local man, a World War II veteran. He was teetotal and he was a churchgoer. With no prior history of unusual, fanciful claims, he drew sketches of the object and spheres for investigators and passed a medical check that found no signs of intoxication or major health issues at the time of this incident. The incident received media attention at the time, and he has been discussed in UFO literature ever since. Some view it as a credible close encounter due to the police involvement, physical traces, and Taylor's consistency of his testimony. Others have suggested explanations such as a possible medical event, e.g. a brief seizure or fainting spell, leading to falls and torn clothing. Misidentification of machinery or natural phenomena, though no matching equipment was ever found. The animal encounter or other terrestrial cause, though, details didn't align either. No definitive explanation has been confirmed, and mainstream science has not classified it as extraterrestrial. In 1990, a marker plaque was placed at the site, and West Lothian Council later created a short UFO trail for visitors. So it's made some interest. The location remains accessible for those interested in going to see it. That's the Dechmont Woods incident. A reported encounter with physical elements and an official police file. Robert Taylor stood by his description for the rest of his life without seeking publicity. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you think it happened? Do you think that he made the story up? He was a man of good character, and people stood by his side to say that was the case. He wasn't the sort that would make up this kind of outrageous story. And the evidence, in fairness, fitted in with what he was saying. Who knows? Leave your thoughts in the comment. That's the end of today's episode. And as always, stay curious. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.